This is the spark the Pelicans needed, as Dejounte Murray reveals on X that he could be back from injury sooner than you think, and it could change the entire dynamic of the Pels backcourt and potential playoff push. We're going to take a look at it inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, everybody? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, back once again inside Pels Digest. And thank you once again for tuning in and also subscribing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done it yet, you'll get your daily updates, analysis, and opinions about the New Orleans Pelicans right here as we get ready for the season in a couple of weeks. And super exciting news for Pels fans, especially if you have been looking forward to the return of one Dejounte Murray. The Murray, of course, as you know, suffered a Achilles injury in February earlier this season, towards the end of last season, of February. And, of course, with those kind of injuries, it's usually expected that the player will take about a year to get back to 100% in order to get back to full basketball form. Well, it doesn't look like that it's going to be that way with Murray, especially with the video that he just put out on social media a couple of days ago. And if you haven't seen the video yet, go to his X page, go to his Instagram page, go check it out. The man is already above the rim. 6 months in. 6 months after his injury, the man is already jumping above the rim and says that everything feels light in his body right about now, especially around the Achilles area. And of course, Forbes magazine did a great article on this. The Pelicans star's shocking reveal sends a clear message to several NBA greats. And what they mean by that is Murray's injury and his video that he put out shows that there could be hope for a bunch of other players. But I ain't worried about the other players. I'm worried about how he going to affect my team, the Pelicans. That's all I'm worried about. But for context, Murray suffered what is perhaps the most devastating injury for an athlete to sustain in a game against the Boston Celtics. That occurred on February 1st of 2025. And the fact that he's already soaring above the rim again is an encouraging message for players like Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, and Tyrese Halliburton to see, especially after the injuries they had. They had similar injuries to Murray. But if you go see the video, Murray is already above the rim jumping. His hands are already up there. You can see it in that photo. His hands are already above the rim. And, of course, the Achilles is more about your stopping speed, and that's where the whole thing is going to come across. That is technically your Achilles is your brakes for your body when you're running, if that makes sense. So while it's encouraging to see him jump, is also I would like to see how he is on stopping and moving, because one thing you got to remember is Murray's going to be needed defensively. Not only he's going to be needed offensively, of course, because of the points that he can put out, but he's also a former all defensive player. So his defense is going to be needed, and he's going to have to be able to hit those breaks and stop whenever he is on the court going up against some of these other guards in the Western Conference especially. But it should be encouraging at the same time, because it's also revealed that Murray had a special operation, which is sort of like the latest in Achilles technology. The fact that Murray is dunking 6 months after turning his Achilles suggests that he underwent what's called the Speedbridge procedure. Murray's video reveals also signals that the former All-Star is progressing at a rate that could have him in the Pelicans lineup faster than expected. Yes, I'm super excited to hear that. Faster than expected. Because my original thought was that he wasn't going to be back until around the January, February timeframe. And I'm still kind of the belief with that, because if you're the Pelicans, you don't want to rush this. Okay? You don't want to rush this. But at the same time, if he's jumping and he's showing that he's ready to go right now, I can see him being in possibly sooner, by Thanksgiving or Christmas. He could be back in the lineup by Thanksgiving or Christmas, depending on the severity and how fast you think he can come back. And I think that's going to be a good point to where the Pels may need him, depending on, again, how these first 10 or 20 games go in. He's possibly going to be able to come in at a time where the Pelicans are going to sorely need him, possibly, Possibly. Possibly. Especially when you consider that we need his minutes. 32 minutes a game, 17 points per game, 6 rebounds a game. His numbers are needed, especially in this upcoming season. And also when you pair him, also along with Jordan Poole, of course, who's bringing in 20 points a game, that's at least a 30 to 40 point swing each night if you have both of these guys on the floor. So, again, super excited about this. It should be the spark that Pelicans fans should need. You should feel excited about just seeing this man being able to jump and be ready for the season. But the question is that I have for him is if he comes back, can he bring back that defensive form that he had? That's what I would like to see more from Dejounte Murray, is his defensive side. I know the boy can score. I know he can get busy. I'd rather see him on the defensive side and how he can help out on that end of the floor. Because, again, when you got a lot of long guards already. So I would like to see how Murray progresses and if he could get back on the floor sooner than expected. Now, would you want to see him back on the floor around that time, or do you want to take your time with this? Because I know a lot of y'all have said that I've seen a lot of things that Murray should be trade bait at this point. We should move off Dejounte Murray. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I from what I've seen as of recent, especially over the last few months after this injury, Murray wants to be a leader on this team. From what I've seen, he wants to lead. He wants to be the guy, the locker room guy that brings everybody together. If you saw, he called out the organization earlier in the year for saying that that the organization wasn't taking care of him the way he should. Joe Dumars got him on the phone. They talked. They squashed that. Everything is good now. He's also been reaching out to the younger players. If you recall, Jeremiah Fear says that one of the first people to call him after he got drafted by the Pelicans was Murray. You see Murray at Summer League hanging out with the guys. He was hanging with Jose Alvarado almost every night, and and he was there almost every game for Summer League, in comparison to Zion, who only showed up to one. And somebody got earlier mad at me in the last video saying, oh, well, Zion's going to be a Pelican for life. I don't think so. I've said this before. You were looking at this team building around Zion for the next 2 years. After that, they are preparing this roster for him to be gone. So I'm just being real here. Unless Zion can turn it around, they're building this roster for Zion to be gone. And it's going to be Trey Murphy that's going to be the focus. But you also still got Murray under contract for those 2 years as well. And Murray has shown that he wants to lead this team in some way, shape, or form. And I'm all for letting him lead the team. I'm all for it. Because he's been under the Spurs system. He's been under the Popovich way. And I forgot the other team that he played for, Atlanta. I mean, he has some experience. If anything, him and Poole will be the experience on this roster that a lot of y'all have been clamoring for. Only they're under the age of 30. They're younger. And your entire roster is under the age of 30. So I can see a lot of these guys looking up to Murray because they respect Murray's game and also his leadership capabilities. And that's what I see with Murray on this team. He wants to lead. He wants to be a leader on this team. Picking up the same role that CJ did. I don't think these young guys respect the CJ like that. To be honest with you. I don't think they respect the CJ. Y'all recall when CJ was talking about they had these videos where CJ was trying to call Trey Murphy and a whole bunch of other guys, and the players were like, They wasn't really answering the phone. Wasn't really respecting CJ. I think they respect Murray more because, again, Murray is more in their age group. And also Murray has shown that he's a dog. That he wants to get back on this floor as quickly as possible to help this team out. And you got to love that if you're a Pels fan. I love it. Now, when would you like to see him come back? Because it looks like he's almost ready. If you give us a couple more weeks, I still don't say he's going to be ready over tonight. I don't think you should put him out there over tonight. I really don't. But I do think I am willing to revise what I originally stated about Murray coming back. I originally thought that sometime around January or February, almost a year to the date of the injury, you will start seeing Murray work his way back into the rotation. Now, I'm starting to see that be possibly late November, maybe December, that he's back working his way into the rotation. Not necessarily on the floor starting, but working his way back into the rotation. What are your thoughts on it, though? Because I think this is going to be the spark that the Pels need to get the season jump-started and make them feel good about the upcoming season, especially in these first 10 or 20 games. If you know you can survive these first 10, 20 games with a winning record and you're getting Murray back, that should be super encouraging for this team going in. So going into training camp and going into the start of the season, you should feel excited for Dejounte Murray's possible return. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that he's going to be back sooner than we think? Do you think he's going to be the spark the Pelicans need? Because I think so. What are your thoughts? Clap back with your thoughts inside the comments. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and also don't forget to join us every day to get your daily dose of the best information on the Pelicans, the analysis, and so much more. It's Melz talking about them Pels. I'll holla at y'all. Stay close.